So the first thing I need to say as we start this video off, my friends, is that this is not a backfire build. Now the reason I'm beginning the video with that statement is because, as most of you know, the backfire has quickly become one of the most popular and powerful weapons in the game because of this season's modifiers. However, with that being said, I've received some messages asking me to highlight a run and gun build with no modifiers, with no exotics, and with gear that is pretty damn easy to farm, so that is exactly what I'm bringing you today. Now, as always, we're going to jump right into the build breakdown, and if you happen to enjoy this, do me a favor and hit that like button. It truly helps the channel out. And if you want to stay up to speed on all things Division, feel free to hit that subscribe or join button as well. Now, starting with the specialization, you can see we're using Gunner, and we're using that for a bunch of different reasons. First of all, you get some extra armor on kill. You also get a reload speed increase. It has access to the Banshee Pulse, which I love to use with a build like this. You get some extra rate of fire as well, and always remember, regardless of the specialization you choose, always make sure to have the proper weapons activated in your weapon skill tree. That way you're getting a 15% weapon damage bonus regardless of which one you're using. I see so many players out there forget to do that, so please do not make that mistake, my friends, otherwise you're leaving weapon damage on the table. Now, my primary weapon for this build, as you can see, is the CMMG Banshee with the Talent Killer on it. However, you have so many different options to choose from. You know, if you have the Dark Winter, I recommend using that. You could also use Lady Death. But once again, my goal in this build is to highlight weapons that are easily obtainable. This happens to be one of them, and as I said, it has the Talent Killer. We're killing an enemy with a critical hit grants 70% crit hit damage for 10 seconds, which happens to be a lifetime in this game. Now, my secondary weapon for this build is the ACS-12 with the Talent Close and Personal. And with that talent, killing an enemy within 7 meters is going to grant 30% weapon damage for 10 seconds. Now moving on to the gear itself, you can see we're running 2 Sokolov and 4 of the Hunter's Fury gear set. We're running 4 so we get all of the gear set bonuses. 2 pieces 15% shotgun and SMG damage, 3 pieces 20% armor on kill and 50% health on kill, and 4 pieces Apex Predator. Enemies within 15 meters receive a debuff, amplifying your weapon damage against them by 20%. Killing a debuffed enemy with your weapon disorients other enemies within 5 meters and amplifies weapon damage by 5% for 10 seconds, stacking up to 5 times. Now moving on to the body armor, it is the first of 2 pieces of Sokolov, and having those 2 pieces equipped are going to give us an extra 10% SMG damage and 13% crit hit damage, and I'm using the talent Intimidate. While you have bonus armor, you're going to gain 1 stack each second up to a max of 9, and each stack is going to increase weapon damage by 4% to enemies within 10 meters. Next, we have the holster, the knee pads, and the gloves. They are the 3 remaining pieces of the Hunter's Fury gear set. And one thing you will notice is on every single piece of gear in this build, I'm trying to stack crit hit chance and crit hit damage everywhere I can. Last but not least, we have the backpack. That is the second piece of Sokolov. And this once again happens to be another piece in this build where you do have a lot of different options. Now, as I said, I'm using a piece of Sokolov with the talent Bloodsucker, and I'm using that to proc the talent on my chest. And as you can see, killing an enemy adds and refreshes a stack of 10% bonus armor for 10 seconds. The max stack is 10. However, for those of you out there who have the Memento backpack, I would use that instead because of its talent kill confirmed. Remember, this is a run and gun build. You're moving non-stop, you're taking out NPC, you're picking up trophies, you get that extra weapon damage, bonus armor, skill efficiency. As far as my skills are concerned, I'm running the Banshee Pulse and the Crusader Shield. When we look at the numbers, I'm at 54% crit hit chance, 173.9 crit hit damage. Global modifiers are turned off, and remember, those numbers are going to be dependent on not only the gear you have equipped, but having a Shade Watch of level 1000. Hope this video helped you out, my friends, and as always, questions, comments, or feedback, please let me know, and I will do my best to get back to you as quick as I can. Most of you know by now that one of my favorite aspects about putting these build videos together is the family that we have here at the channel. So if you have any recommendations you want to pass along, feel free to leave them in the comments section. The main goal is to help out as many people as we can. And on that note, I'm going to leave you with some gameplay footage and commentary. As always, I want to take a moment and thank you all for your incredible continued support. Please let me know of any other questions you have I did not address. Thank you once again for the privilege of your time, and as I mention at the end of every one of these, take care of yourselves, be kind to each other, and we'll talk to you soon. Thanks again, everyone. Good morning once again, my fellow agents. Happy Father's Day to all the dads out there. Hope everyone is having a wonderful day. I just found out, and I'm not supposed to know this, but we're going to brunch in a little bit. And it turns out later today, the family is secretly taking me to see Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade in I don't know why I'm whispering. Well, I know why I'm whispering. I don't want them to know that I know. But we're going to a local movie theater, and they're playing that movie, which is insane. Because look, some of you may know this. I work in film and television, right? I have for a very, very, very long time, almost 30 years. And this is one of the movies that, for me, made me realize the fact that this is the career I wanted to follow. I always wanted to work in film and television, and this is one of those stepping stones that I can remember as a kid just going, you know what? Yeah, this solidifies it. This is what I want to do. Anyway, my friends, that's all I got for this video. Thank you once again for everything, and I will see you in the next one.
How's it going? Perfect. No survivors. All that's left is the agent. Eliminate.
Agent, I need you to kill those cleaners. Secure the rest of the clinic, and see if you can find any leads on that workshop.
I got this.
If you're looking for survivors, you're fooling.
They're closing in.
I'm gonna kill you! Vital signs critical.
Bury our dead and move the supplies you recovered back to the bridge. We'll find Danvers and make him pay for this. There's more cleaner activity in Dumbo. I'll check in with scouts and call if we find anything.